and then explain about your idea and the concept.
अच्छा, okay sir.
Okay.
Myself Parag Das and I'm currently in civil 7 sem. तो मेरा बिजनेस आइडिया है कि मैं खुद का एक कॉफी मैन्युफैक्चरर होना चाहता हूँ, मतलब होलसेलर या कॉफी मैन्युफैक्चरर जो जाके होलसेल में सेल करता हो। तो मेरा करंटली स्मॉल स्केल में एक मैन्युफैक्चरिंग प्लांट ऐसा कुछ है जो मैं कॉफी बना के होलसेल में दुकान में देता हूँ। तो मेरा फ्यूचर प्लान है कि मैं इसको एक्सपांड करूँ, मशीनरी इंस्टॉल करूँ और सब कुछ मतलब होलसेल में जाऊँ, पूरा मार्केट को कैप्चर करना चाहता हूँ मैं। अभी तक मेरा मतलब मेरा जो बिजनेस है अभी तक रेवेन्यू अप टू 2.3 ऐसा 2.3 लाख के आसपास मेरा हो गया, मतलब टोटल सेल्स मैंने दिया है अभी तक। हेलो,
Yeah, you are audible, Pulak. Please continue.
हाँ मैंने अभी तक मतलब 2.3 लाख का सेल दिया है। तो मेरा अभी तक मेनली सिर्फ मैं स्पाइरल बाइंडिंग कॉपी बनाता हूँ और नॉर्मल कॉपी अभी तक नहीं बनाता। सिर्फ स्पाइरल बाइंडिंग कॉपी होलसेल में, जैसे आपको क्या एनआईटी, उसके बाद मेडिकल, सिलचर टाउन, बदरपुर टाउन, इन जगह में मैं होलसेल में सेल करता हूँ अभी अभी के लिए प्रेजेंट टाइम में।
Okay, Pulak. So actually, we are thinking that there were two participants beyond you also, but due to network issues, they are unable to join. So we were thinking to start the judgment round itself from here only. So yeah, now judges can ask Pulak and any other participants, pointing them out regarding their business plans.
ओके सर। हेलो,
Yeah, you are audible. So I request the judges to ask Pulak for the question answer session.
So Pulak, I'm audible to you.
यस सर, यस सर।
Okay. तो आप जैसा कि बता रहे हो, so you're already selling some. My voice is getting repeated. I think Pulak, you can mute your
मैं
microphone while I'm speaking.
सुन सकता हूँ सर।
तो जैसा कि मैं पूछ रहा था कि you already said that you are selling some products. मतलब कुछ कुछ रीजन में आप ऑलरेडी सेल कर रहे हो, तो एग्जैक्टली आप क्या सेल कर रहे हो?
मैं कॉपी सेल करता हूँ, वो स्पाइरल बाइंडिंग कॉपी।
पैरल बाइंडिंग कॉफी।
हम्म।
ओके। तो मतलब इज दिस लाइक विद द ब्रांड और ये आपका ये पूरा
हाँ सर।
आप मैन्युफैक्चरर हो कि यू आर वाइट लेबलिंग इट फ्रॉम
मैन्युफैक्चरर सर।
मैन्युफैक्चरर हो?
हम्म।
एंड हाउ डू यू मैन्युफैक्चर?
मेरा एक छोटा सा मशीन है, मतलब पंचिंग करने का, जो कॉपी में पंच करते हैं ना छोटा छोटा, तो वो वाला एक मशीन है। और स्पाइरल में मुंबई, और स्पाइरल बाइंडिंग मतलब ऊपर का जो कॉपी का ऊपर कवर होता है वो मुंबई से मैं शिपमेंट करवाता हूँ बाहर से।
ओके। Okay, that's all I wanted to know, because since you do not have a proper PPT presentation that is required during because whenever you are pitching your idea or a product or anything जो भी आपके दिमाग में चल रहा है, तो आपके पास एक PPT पहले तो मस्ट होता है। Second thing
अच्छा
that is required in PPT is की business layout and the revenue model. It's not like what you are currently doing, है ना? इट्स व्हाट एग्जैक्टली कि आप क्या अभी कर रहे हो प्लस आप आगे क्या करने वाले हो, वो दो चीजें बहुत मायने रखती हैं आपके प्रेजेंटेशन में। ठीक है, तो आप जब भी पिच करो तो आप इंश्योर करो कि आप ये चीज मेंटेन करके रखो, है ना?
हाँ सर, वो पीपीटी रेडी कर नहीं पाया क्योंकि आज मेरा मतलब प्रोडक्ट जो है, मैं मतलब डिलीवरी का डेट था, मतलब एक डेट होता है तो डिलीवरी के डेट था, उसके वजह से मैं ज्यादा बिजी हो गया।
ओके,
तो
कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। मतलब व्हाट आई एम सेइंग कि आराम से आप पीपीटी रेडी, and if there is a round next time as well, if there is a second round in future, तो आप फिर उसमें वापस से पार्टिसिपेट करिए। So for today I think we can move to the next contestant only, and good luck to you.
थैंक यू।
Thank you, Pulak. So I think we have covered up all the participants. So I'd like to call the first participant. Pritam Bharadwaj, and all the judges to for the Q&A session.
Good evening, respected judges.
Pritam, are you present?
Who is the next participant, by the way?
Uh, all the participants are completed. So we'd like to for we'd like to offer the Q&A sessions.
Okay. So we can just start from any contestant if we want to.
Okay, okay.
I think we can start with Gemma, the learning platform. Who's the participant who pitched the idea?
I think Yashin is the participant. Yashin, present.
Yashmi, is there on the call? Okay. Yashin, am I audible to you? Hello. Your mic is
Hello,
mute
Yashin.
actually.
Hello?
Yes, yes, it's now audible.
Yes, sir.
So first of all, thank you for the presentation. I like your direction you are taking because students are already using AI extensively, but general purpose AI tools don't always provide a structured learning experience, right? And the opportunity I see in your idea is not just answering questions, but potentially bringing study material and personalizing and AI assistance in one place only. But however, my biggest concern is understanding what makes your platform, because from the sheet that we were provided, your platform name was earlier named as Senku, right? You renamed it to.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes, sir.
Your
Go
platform
on.
was earlier called as Senku, right? You just renamed it to Gemma, I think.
Sir, it was previously called Gemma because I was just experimenting with local LLMs.
Okay.
So I just got the idea of it. Like we could use it for answering our queries, and it could also like use skills, for example reading PDFs and understanding the context, because the biggest problem as a student that I have faced is that most of the AI tools that I have used give generic answers.
Mm-hmm.
So they are not by the book, and sometimes they provide wrong answers which are like according to the book there's a completely different method, and they are like doing it in a method that is not the standard way of doing it. For example, if we are learning about
So
suppose we are
my
just
my major
okay.
question is since there are already too many AI models in the market, right? And most of them, I mean, there are models who actually provide very generic and very detailed. I mean, detailed. When I say detailed, it's specifically answer that is required. There are certain models. Even if you just prompt every AI model correctly, so they will provide the answers to it. So why, according to you, do you think that your platform Seku is the right fit for the students rather than the existing AI models that is being used for only free of cost only, or for a free trial as of now? Like ChatGPT, Gemini, all these models already exist, right? I mean, any student can upload their syllabus or their existing notebooks or whatever the learning materials they have, and the models will, they just process the data uploaded by the student, and they will just help them to prepare for any examination at the same time.
Yes.
So can you
So
make it say
so
who?
the thing is, most students are not that tech savvy. For example, we are engineering students, so we know about all this tech, like prompting and system, how a system prompt is different from a user prompt. But when we think about students from earlier classes, for example, a 8th standard student might not know about it, or someone who is doing a philosophical degree. So we have to make it simpler compared to like general prompting. And
Hmm.
and it has a space for notes, and it has a space for course materials, like we can add books, we can upload books to it, we can also view the
But the
books.
space, but the space you are talking about, that space is not a cloud space, right? It's the same space of the students' hard disk there where the software is running right now. If
Yes,
I'm
we
not
can. The LLM is actually not not the entire selling point of this application. So it has, as you can say, as you have seen, there are courses and NDPCL courses. So like like some if the teachers adopt it, and they can make their own course materials. Like for example, I have seen some of our professors are quite fluent with that tech that they use for using like using Google Classrooms for uploading materials and stuff. But my friends who are in different colleges or in different different streams, they don't have that kind of support, and most are like studying in colleges which like have libraries, but they don't have books. So with this application they have the freedom to research or to do their studies from the book that they want, and to gather enough information about the subject that they can learn from it. So it's
got
not just about, it's not
you
just
have the
okay.
AI-enabled learning in it, as most of your PPT was covering the AI thing, the LLM at the same time. So I
Yes.
believe AI is enabled there to make the learning very much easier.
Yes.
But my question is, like, let's say since we already stepped into this conversation, that most of the
Mhm.
students, they are not very technical and they do not have this expertise of putting the right prompt, and even they do not have the prompt engineering knowledge. Right? There are students who just upload the sheet and that I mean, there are students who even do not know that the models actually have a context limit. Okay, that let's say you
Yes.
upload a very huge document of 50 pages or 100 pages, then it's not sometimes it's not possible for the model to process all that information all together and provide provide a very detailed response for each of the topic that we are asking about. So what models usually do is they provide the response bit by bit. Okay, so that they can
Yes.
cover all the topics in each response, right? But in that case, the response actually gets smaller in words for each topic. So what happens is, since we are talking about running local AI models in the system, so what makes you think that the students will have the expertise to actually set up a local LLM in their environment? Because we know that setting up Olama and installing a model and then running it in the backend server, it's not a heavy headache for technical persons like us. But now consider a student with let's say there are students in CSC department as well only, and many of them I believe they do not have the expertise to run the models in the local environment. Okay, so how do you think that we can resolve this issue?
Sir, in order for us to resolve that issue, I have made a prototype of this application,
Hmm.
and in that prototype, we have already implemented cloud APIs. So we can use Grok. Grok provides free APIs. We can use those things, and it also provides and Google also provides free APIs.
I mean, it's
But
not
what you have
about
said,
so
yes, I
so the question is not actually about free APIs, because
yes,
we talked about data privacy as well at the same time, right? That the data will
exactly,
be isolated within the user's environment only, right? So in
yes,
that case, I don't think that now we will break the business core ideology that the data should be localized. We are also maintaining the DPDPA thing because the Data Protection and Data Privacy Act of India, that the
yes,
data should be handled carefully, student data specifically. But now, if you look very closely here, we are including the cloud APIs. Now, the cloud APIs will have the data of whatever the student is trying to operate on. Now, what I believe is if you shift the entire product, just leave the data protection conspiracy as of now. There are
Hmm.
solutions like Gemini Notebook, uh,
Hmm.
something that you have already used, okay, while doing the PPT only. There are so many solutions. What they do is they are cloud based. Why? Because if you cut off the thing of data privacy, because let me be very honest with you, the only matter of data privacy will arrive here if a student is actually putting their confidential information like the student ID card, their Aadhaar card, and very sensitive informations on the system, right? If a student is just putting up their learning materials and their study materials for preparing for a course or a training program, I don't think you should be worried about the data privacy thing. You got my point, right?
Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
in
yes.
that case, you have open hands to make this thing a cloud-based SaaS solution rather than just a isolated local solution that will limit your accessibility. Because both of us know that you cannot make a fully autonomous AI, localized AI-enabled system. And at the same time, because if you are asking students to be relied on local LLMs, that now you will have another problem that even if a student can set it up, they will have the infrastructure issue. Not every LLM you can run on local environment, and even if you can run any LLM, it will still take a lot of compute in the server, and the students' computer, they will be usually burned off. I mean, they will face with a very huge CPU and GPU outage at the same time, and that will come with the memory issues right now. Because we are currently unable to resolve this compute issue in AI models, right? So it's better if you completely shift the entire thing to cloud SaaS. Okay, asking very minimal information from the students. Don't consider any user as a student first of all. So this will, you know, resolve only, I mean, 80% of the issues. And then the students can be just, they will be able to upload or whatever they want to learn on. And they can just simply upload it in your cloud-based solution, the web-based solution. And then you can easily integrate any AI model there. So you can, let's say you integrate Gemini API. Now, let's not talk about Gemini API. Let's say you integrate ChatGPT API only. Now, in that case, you have a ChatGPT API, and that API actually does the reasoning part, the processing part. Now, in that case, I think you can easily save a lot of cost if you set a proper rate limit for daily usage. If your product actually comes with a subscription plan, right? That you have 3 or 4 different subscription plans that give students a rate limit of daily usage, that every day how much usage they can perform, then only I think you can sustain in the long run race, because localizing this thing will actually create a lot of headache for you, I believe.
Exactly, sir. As you have said, those concerns are real. And my vision with this project is that I was thinking about moving it to the cloud, and also since I'm already working on it, my future vision, or in my future vision, I also think about this as a software that most of the coaching institute that we have, they can use it, and they can also they can it's up to them that they want to provide their local LLM support or not. But if they want sorry, the cloud LLM support or not, if they provide the cloud LLM support and with the cloud support for the notes and the books, I think it can be a really good addition
We
for the
have
students.
Yeah, so we have worked on this thing all previously, asking institutes about compute for the models, and honestly, the response is not that satisfying because many institutes, they do not want to invest in the GPU and compute thing. To be very honest, because it's a crores of investment, and they feel it very lazy to actually put that money in such kind of idea. The reason behind, they feel like having a GPU infrastructure is already same as having a ChatGPT API. So why should we waste that amount of money in the compute when we can have the API only? Okay, it's basically dealing with people who do not have the proper, I mean, necessary knowledge about infrastructure. Okay, so you'd be facing problem and on that vertical as well.
Yes, sir.
And a question, like how are you actually planning to, prevent students from using Senku? I mean, there might be a situation where the students might feel like okay, Senko is not good, we might shift our focus to some other product. Or let's say Senko is very way too expensive, or the cost and the setup is also very much expensive. So shifting to any other free model will be much more better idea. I mean, better option. So how do you prevent students from shifting to other business product?
So currently, the prototype that we have made is licensed under MIT. So it
Hmm.
is a free and open source software. So like some of my friends have used it, and the responses are mixed because as you have said that running it locally or using cloud APIs is not many people are quite fluent in these tech.
Hmm.
So the my friends who are from engineering background, they for them it is really easy. They just have to download the 4 MB file, just install it,
Hmm.
and then in the settings they can either use the cloud LLM service, or they can use their own local LLM if they're using one.
Got it.
So one of my friend, yes,
So I think shifting to cloud LLMs with two or three backup of different models is better for years of now. Only if you want to scale it to a huge audience, if I'm saying this, okay, rather than the local one. Local one is good, but having dedicated model of Senku in the platform, because honestly, most of the organizations with AI product or AI assistants, look, you are building a co-pilot, okay, not a model from scratch. To be very honest, okay,
yes,
so AI model you are going to implement is not going to be from scratch. Since it's a co-pilot, you can literally name the co-pilot on your name only. That is Senku AI or Senku assistance. So you can have different variants of Senku actually using a different LLM in the background without actually letting the users know. Okay, that is something that is not illegal only. You can just, that is totally legalized. Okay, you can do that. So just shift to cloud APIs and make it a web-based SaaS that the student can access it from anywhere in the world, wherever they want from their iPad, helping you to avoid the cross-platform difficulties actually.
yes, actually,
Yeah.
yes, I have.
And most importantly, get incubated. Okay, get incubated to any better incubation center. So I believe your product has a potential, and it can actually make it up to any future AI summit or any. It can even secure a good investment in future because they were working on a very good sector. And if you dedicatedly try to focus on this, and most important goal is don't try too many things and don't implement too many things in it. मिनिमल रखो आप इसको, ज्यादा सर्विसेज एक साथ प्रोवाइड मत कराओ, जो अभी आप कर रहे हो ना वही बेस्ट है आई थिंक. एंड इस पे एआई बस इसमें थोड़ी एनहांसमेंट की जरूरत है. मेक इट क्लाउड बेस्ड, मेक इट SaaS एंड मेक इट एक्सेसिबल फॉर एवरीवन. onboarding process भी easy रख दो इसका, so I think you can make a very good revenue out of it, and also make sure to make it compatible with the Indian economy as well, depending on the student and students के हिसाब से कि if a student can, I mean a student can also afford it in a way.
यस सर, जैसा आपने बोला कि लाइक वैसा है हम लोग ठीक है, हम लोग फ्यूचर प्लान वैसा ही रहेगा अभी. लाइक मैं वही सोच रहा था लाइक क्लाउड पे करने के लिए. लेकिन मतलब सर क्या होता है कि बहुत लोगों का मतलब वो नेटवर्क का इशू हो जाता है, कुछ हो जाता है. सो इन ऑर्डर टू टैकल दैट, तो मैंने सोचा कि लाइक इसको लोकलाइज ही कर देते तो ज्यादा बेहतर रहेगा शायद,
You can
क्योंकि
keep
मेरा
two
पहला.
versions. Yeah, you can keep two versions, but when I say global, right? Local
यस,
network issue is a very regional factor. ठीक है, a student, a engineering student or any student actually facing a severe network issue, है ना, आप समझ लो वो स्टूडेंट मे बी एक ऐसी जगह पे एस्टेब्लिश है जहाँ पे सच में ये चीज बहुत बड़ी कंसर्निंग पार्ट है. बिकॉज रेस्ट ऑफ द अदर पार्ट्स इन इंडिया जहाँ पे स्टूडेंट्स एंड कॉलेजेस यूज करते हैं, दे हैव ए बेटर नेटवर्क कवर कनेक्टिविटी एक्चुअली, है ना, बहुत जगहों पे. तो द थिंग इज कि यहाँ पे उस जगहों के हिसाब से अगर आप सोचो ग्लोबल पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से, जैसे मैंने बताया, तो क्लाउड विल बी बेटर फॉर यू, है ना. आई मीन यू कैन ऑल्सो कीप द लोकल वन कंसिडरिंग यू हैव audience with network connectivity issue.
यस.
Anyways, good luck to you. Also on my side.
ओके, थैंक यू सर.
Thank you.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. Good evening, all.
Good evening,
I have
sir.
a question to Yashin. So, Yashin, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Yeah, Yashin, can you hear me? Are you there,
Yes, sir.
Yashin? Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
So, a good page. Just few things I just want to verify.
Yes, sir. Sir, if you're speaking, I don't think I can listen right now. I am means आपकी आवाज थोड़ी like आपकी आवाज pause हो गई थी अभी like
Okay, okay. You want me to repeat? Fine, fine. So, in a nutshell, your plan aims to bring all the available digital educational resources from multiple sources to your platform, right? Is that correct?
हाँ सर जो मतलब ओपन सोर्स में अवेलेबल है जैसे आपके एनटीपीसीएल
Correct.
कोर्सेज हो गए मतलब पब्लिक डोमेन में जो अवेलेबल है
Right.
उसको हम लोग कर सकते हैं.
Okay, fine. So next question is your customers would be student, correct?
Yes, the customer जो the customer can be a student and an aspirant of any exam or something which like
Can
if they
consider
have
be
this.
academic students or the general students more or less, correct?
Yes, sir.
And how you're planning to generate your, can you explain shortly your revenue model, how you're going to make money?
सर अभी के लिए तो मैंने इसको लाइक फॉर नाउ आई हैव इट इज अ ओपन सोर्स प्रोग्राम बट I have I have left space for Google Ads, and also
Uh-huh.
if a coaching institute thinks that this product is valuable for them, like if as Sandeep sir said, if the LLM is like a really big investment for them, they can use it as just a note taking application, which in which they can implement user authentication and students can share notes among themselves and also like it could be a alternative for like Google Classroom where the professor can send different notes and suggest books that students can download on their devices or they can like just make notes of it and just keep it there.
Understood. So first thing that I would like to tell you is that first, if we please be focused whom you are addressing, your customer target audience. Please, if target that customer first, whom you are primarily focusing, be the professors of the college who want to share the resources, or the academia students, or the general students, or the coaching institute. Please focus there. Set your target first. Then accordingly, I guess you can plan in a better way. Second things, if we come to the academic students and say from students, supposingly, you must have thought something to charge or generate revenue from students. You must have thought something, right? So what is your plan? How you're going to make money from students? Say if only students are registering, so how you're going to make money from them?
I think for now as
Say,
we have a really small user base, I think Google Ads are enough as students use it and if they find it useful enough, as we have a larger audience, we can implement subscription models, which
okay, okay. So primarily, in a long run, you have a vision to implement the subscription-based model, correct? Now,
yes,
one
sir.
thing that I am concerning is that don't you think the students who are planning to join your platform to get all the free resources, they want those resources, they can get them in free of cost, right? And those are those students who want to get those resources free of cost only. If they want to pay, they can pay anyway, and they can join the commercial classes. and if you plan to charge money from them, and do you think they're actually gonna pay for those courses which they are readily available to them in maybe in many platform, like different platform they're getting, but they're getting it for free. So isn't it a bit thing of concerning thing if I
Sir,
need to pay, say, yeah.
I think uh, most of the students who are using our platform, I mean, we have picked the courses and the study materials from whatever is available on the in the public domain. So, but when if we think about it, if we are like most of those courses are like good, but they are most of them are not excellent. If we compare that the same course that is available on the YouTube to a course that is available in Physics Wala or something like a Study IQ or something, so they have a better detailed course where they share a lot of materials. So I think if we are like working with a different organization who is like who which wants us to implement their course and their material, I think we can lock most of the things, and just the students who are registered in their databases can access this software.
Okay.
I mean, this software version, whichever, like if we are working with a like for example, we are working with a
So basically, from here
coaching
answer, one thing
center.
I can
We
sure at least in the first question, because if you get them on board,
Yes.
and when you make the private courses or the paid courses available in your platform, then you can attract the students automatically. When you make the paid courses available, in primary focus should be the private coaching in that case, I guess. Thank you. That's all from my side.
Okay. Thank you.
Uh, any question answers from Galos sir and Kanjan sir?
No, I don't have any question. Actually, the questions that I had are already answered. So you can continue.
Sudeep sir, any questions?
No, you can continue with the program.
Okay, sir. So I think it is high time, so we can continue with the next participant. So I would like to call upon Pritam Bharadwaj for the question answer session.
Good evening, respected judges. Am I audible, Abhibhaya?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay.
Hi, Pritam, am I audible?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
so
sir.
we were talking about last time we had this conversation about the data privacy concerns we had associated with the medical data only. So how are you actually planning to
Yes, sir.
eliminate that concern? We didn't continue our conversation after that, right? So I would like to know more about it.
Yes, sir. Okay, so, uh, as per my understanding, the data privacy concerns are actually, we are facing in the medical data. So, what are the steps that we are taking to eliminate these concerns? as I mentioned, our basic model is to provide data sets to train AI models. And here it's a concern. Everyone gonna ask how you gonna secure the patient's data. So for patient's data, there are multiple ways by which we will gonna secure the patient's data. First of all, when we're gonna acquire data from any government institutes or laboratories or hospitals, like we're gonna de-identify those data for the further process. After that, जो भी उन लोगों का names वगैरह and other उन लोगों का जो भी mention रहेगा, that we not gonna keep in that model for further. Also, we are thinking to apply encryption and role-based access control so that पास वो access रहेगा, only those parts or those companies can use that data sets. And after that, we are also thinking to restrict access for like separate accounts. Like if we are providing our data to one company, there will be only one account or one profile engaged with that, and only that person or that account can access those data sets. And also, the whole process requires various government permissions and government license and various institutional licensing. So we are also working on that.
But still, don't you think that how will you exactly make those government hospitals and the medical institutes that they should share the confidential patient data with you and some other data as well?
Government hospitals will directly won't share those data. Currently, one there is a research institute ICMR. They are doing the same thing. They are collecting data from government hospitals for research purpose. So our basic first need is to that we have to collaborate with research institutes and have to make sure them ki hum log wo like we are just using the data set for training the models, and government of the for that initiative government also supporting.
Okay. And what makes you think that you actually have the legal right to commercialize the data? I mean, selling this to medical AI companies, because you just cannot just directly say that a hospital allowed us to access the data, or a particular body allowed us to access the data, because if they have the data and now you have the legal implications that whether this data should be commercialized or not.
Okay, for that purpose, government offers various licensings or permissions, and we have to go through all these legal process and to acquire those license and permissions.
And what kind of legal processes we are talking about?
First, we have to collaborate with an research institute, and my co-founder, she is a PhD scholar, and she is doing research in biomedical field. So she is doing that part. She is trying to collaborate with various research institutes so that we get the permission and so the licensing process can be easy.
So you're saying that in order to avoid any legal complications and anything that actually restricts you from accessing the confidential, medical data. So that is something you are saying that you can avoid it by, collaborating with research institute.
Yes.
But I still asked you about the legalities, right? I mean, so according to you, that the entire concern of the legalities will be managed by the research institute, not you.
Yes, in collaboration with them.
And what's your stake for collaboration with them? How are you planning to collaborate with them? What exactly if they're getting in return?
Actually, we haven't planned that yet because the ideation was created only last month. So we are still figuring it and trying to collaborate with research institutes. And there are several data which are still publicly available. Like there is no any legal compliances for that. Those are publicly available. Some companies are using it. Also, some companies are
Look.
making
Yeah, I get your point. So the thing is, when we talk about publicly available data, that is a publicly available data. That means there have been situations and under some certain uh, circumstances only, those data sets have been made public, okay, by some of these institutes only. Now the problem is we are talking about putting, standing as a very different organization over the market, a different organization that provides a very specialized data sets for training their models, right? Because you are not going to be not going to become a very ordinary public AI dataset company. You are planning to become a company that provides a very different type of and very special type of dataset, which is not available anywhere in the
Yes.
internet, right? So, in order to
Yes.
do
Yes.
that, you need a very foolproof method that saves you from the legal compliances, saves you from the regulatories and the governance, and you also it also saves you from, the ordinary patients who actually fill their data. Because for the village areas and remote areas, uh, patients, they do not care about what data they are submitting, and that doesn't matter at all. But when we are talking about a larger scale, any advocate from Delhi High Court or a Supreme Court or any lawyer, they can actually raise this concern out of nowhere, because advocates have this habit of raising concerns out of nowhere and suing a company so that they can penalize them and they can put their name on the internet. And the reason behind, because they see that their business has a very common fault with that is data privacy only. And looking at the current issues over the market that is associated with DPDPA and all, I think you need a very solid proof method in order to sustain, because you cannot just scrap any random data from the internet. Okay, I mean, you can do that until and unless you just simply say that, okay, we had a certain partnership with some institute and we got the data. That is fine. Now, but let's say if a hospital doesn't allow you to share the data sets, or if a certain institute that you were talking about doesn't allow you to share the data to make a synthesized data set, then you'll have a sustainability problem, right? How will you exactly sustain over the market? So I think you need to research on that, and before actually going for execution, partnership is something that I believe is very important. So initially, I think it's better if you
Yes.
go with partnership and a cold conversation that we are planning to build something on this. We have made and used public data sets, and we have synthesized it, and we believe that this can become a huge market in future if we go for it. Okay.
Sir, one thing I want to mention is that there are still several companies who are collecting data from government institutes. Like there are some government institutes like which are providing those data to research institutes for research purpose, and government is
Yeah,
also supporting on that. So
exactly my concern. Exactly my concern. There are some institutes only, because let me tell you, defense. We know about the Indian Army and defense as well. So defense also provides data sets to research institutes like NFSU is there. They Indian Army and DRDO, they also provide data sets to NFSU as well. Okay, but these are limited data sets. These are the data sets that they can even provide to any other institute as well if needed. Okay. Now the problem behind, since a research institute is already getting the data sets, okay, for research purpose and all. Now the question comes that how exactly your approach is to get those get those data sets. Okay, get those data sets from the research institute, and how exactly you're going to build that partnership, because that is something you need to work on. This access to the data by the government institutes to some other organization or a body is very limited. Okay, they are doing it in a very limited way, and trusting a private company is actually very much dangerous for them initially. It depends upon the type of private company at the same time. If it's a very big player in the market, they won't hesitate to. You need a really good connections in
okay.
order to work on those data. Anyways, I think you can figure that out, because you have a very special problem. I mean, special problem you're working on, and that problem is very unique. So I think you can work on that. I mean, you guys will need to do a research on how exactly we're going to take on all this. But look, honestly, because I work in governance, I work in GRC and compliance. Okay, we do the ISO 27001 audits, we do the DPDP audit, and we are also from next year we are going to do all the EU based, I mean European Union based, all the audits as well associated with data privacy. Now the problem is we face these things on a regular basis, and that is why I'm putting this concern, because I think you need to figure this out by yourself only, that how exactly you can do it.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
that
you,
is
sir.
from my. Yeah, thank you. All the best.
Middle sir, any questions for him?
No, I don't have question. This is the similar concern I had, which has already been addressed by Mr. Sandeep. You focus on a partnership that also I believe, and that can open doors for you. That's all.
Yes, sir. And there are several companies currently doing this, but they are doing only one or two institutes. But our goal is to collect the ground level Indian data with the collaboration with research institute and government, in which government is also supporting and collecting those ground level Indian patients data, de-identifying it, and making high quality data sets. Even those publicly available data, which are currently publicly available, there is a lot more data, but they are not in high quality or they are not annotated properly, and which is required to train any kind of AI models or to integrate any kind of AI in medical machineries, etc.
Yeah, I have something to put, Pritham, here. Once you guys get funded and once you guys are planning to scale this thing on a massive level, and once you have the data sets that you are talking about, my first opinion is to get compliant first. Get your ISO 27001 compliance, get all the necessary compliance that is required for you to, make the Indian institution and Indian government believe that you are compliant with all the regulatories to handle the data. That is something that can put you in the safer side, because you yourself, you cannot claim that we believe that we are protecting the patient's identity, and we are also not violating any anonymity of any data here. You yourself, you cannot claim that, because that is how the regulatories work. So you need a compliance partner that
Yes,
can
sir.
resolve this issue. So once the compliance and certifications are done, I think you will be legally allowed to act as a data set company in India. Okay,
Yes, sir.
we can. Yeah, I can help you out with that. You can just connect with me anytime after the after you are trying to scale it up to next level, and if you are planning to get compliant, I can get you that.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Smita, I have a question for you. Actually,
Okay, sir.
it's a pretty good idea, but as you are planning to create this data set, I would like to know how you actually are planning to do this, because most of the hospital data which you will be acquiring, that is in unstructured data, they're like PDFs or maybe some doctor's prescription reports. How exactly are you planning to create a data set from there?
Actually, sir, our main idea is to provide data sets to research purpose and to AI companies. We are trying to build AI models in healthcare or integrating AI in healthcare instruments, etc. So for that, currently the publicly available data, there are a lot more data, but those are not in high quality or annotated. So we should have a great medical team who can annotate all these data, and also some researcher who can do the research kind of things. And also we need engineers also, like who can apply to for machine learning purposes. After extracting that all those data, like we'll gonna identify it and convert it to a high quality annotated data, which will be helpful to train AI models.
Okay, I've understood.
Kanjan sir, any questions from your side? I think sir has no questions for you. So I'd like to call Kunal Dev and his team for the question and session.
Okay, so Agabya, before leaving, I just want to ask all the respected judges, like if they have any kind of suggestion for me.
From my side, the suggestion remains the same. Get compliant. Uh, if you need any, support and assistance with compliance and all, only after, I mean, in case so you get funded and all. Okay. Why I'm saying this? Because compliance needs a little heavy investment because you need a lot of paperwork to get done, and government actually does the compliance thing and all done. Okay. The government actually issues the certificate, so that in that case you what we can do is we can only help you out with the paperwork that is required, and in that case you can get compliant only. Even Tata is one of our client, and they Tata Teleservices, they we are managing their some of the operations for compliances. Okay, we cannot fully disclose what exactly we do that.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so the next participant is Kunal Dev and his team. Kunal, are you present?
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, I'm
Yes,
audible.
you are audible.
Uh, uh, yes.
Okay. I think Shoraj is going to represent Cork Arena, right?
Not Sorojit, it's Kunal. Actually, I joined from another email.
Okay. Okay, got it. So, okay, first thing, so the next time if you're planning to join the meet, so just ensure that you join from your real account only. I mean, in most of the pitches, the other judges, they are actually very strict. So what they do is they ask you to turn on the camera and use your real identity at the same time. Okay, so that is first. Second, your PPT and design, I mean, your design was very impressive. You had details mentioned in it very clearly, but the problem is the design must be in the PPT format. Okay, and also ensuring the 16:9 ratio format specifically so that the text and context are visible clearly on it. Okay, this is the first thing.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah,
it's total.
yeah. I mean, for flyers and for magazine purposes, the design was good, but for presentation purpose, if we have the ratio in 16:9, so that information is pretty much visible actually. Anyways, so
Yes,
we like the idea that you are not looking at a esport. You're not looking at a esport as a simply conducting tournament, but you are trying to build a larger ecosystem around the competitive gaming industry,
yeah,
and the
exactly.
idea of even creating a structured environment where players can compete, credibly build and build credibility and potentially get discovered by teams or sponsors is definitely interesting actually. Okay, especially because a lot of talented players currently operate through fragmented communities and informal tournaments. So in that case, corps can actually become a right fit for the ecosystem that already has, but it has not been touched yet. Um, However, because you are operating at the intersection of esports, online competition, prize money, and platform transaction. So I have a
Yes,
few
yes,
specific concerns that I would like to understand from your side.
yes,
So is
please.
it like your business is actually dependent on entry fees completely?
No, not completely on entry fees. अगर मैं डाइसेक्ट करने जाऊँ लाइक किस किस चीजों के ऊपर हमारा फाइनेंस एंड ऑल डिपेंड कर रहा है, वो है फर्स्टली द मेजर कंट्रीब्यूशन वुड बी आई कैन से लाइक प्लेटफॉर्म कमीशन फ्रॉम बोथ द यूजर साइड एंड द ऑर्गेनाइजर साइड. Secondly, we have like credit top-ups. These are like a small chunk of our revenue जो कि आने वाला है. कुछ specialized tools हम लोग provide करने वाले हैं to organizers like institutional organizers and like जैसे कि colleges हो गए, universities हो गए, and कुछ agencies भी होते हैं जो कि e-sports ऐसा tournament organize कराते हैं. तो उनको हम लोग ऐसा whole एक software tool provide कर रहे हैं. उसमें से क्या होगा, अभी के सिनेरियो में क्या होता है, कॉलेजेस व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप बनाते हैं, व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में टूर्नामेंट वगैरह ऑर्गेनाइज कराते हैं, गूगल फॉर्म्स के थ्रू लाइक लिस्ट वगैरह लेते हैं. इससे क्या होगा, इस टूल से क्या होगा, इंस्टीट्यूशंस वालों को डायरेक्टली इसके थ्रू वो रिक्रूट कर सकते हैं. जो भी प्लेयर्स रहेंगे वो एप्लीकेशन में रजिस्टर्ड होंगे, वो अपने डैशबोर्ड से ही एक लीग कराना या फिर अरीना कराना या फिर एक लार्ज स्केल लॉन्ग रन टूर्नामेंट कराना है, वो चूज करेंगे वो.
Sorry to interrupt. So as I can understand, this is the operational model. So
Yes.
I would like to know that what are the different type of users you are generating the revenue from, not how you are generating the revenue, because we will come to that part. So what are the different users other than the players? Are you also generating revenue from the organizers and sponsors at the same time?
Yes. हम लोग ऑर्गेनाइजर्स से अर्न कर रहे हैं. लाइक एक ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म कमीशन उनके साइड से ऑर्गेनाइजर प्रॉफिट शेयर कर रही है यहाँ पे. स्पेसिफिकली अगर स्ट्रीम बताओ, ऑर्गेनाइजर मैं आपको समझाऊं यहाँ पे, तो यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, ऑर्गेनाइजर सबसे पहले लेट्स सपोज 5,000 रुपए का एक वो है, एक टूर्नामेंट ऑर्गेनाइज करना है, ठीक है. द प्राइस पूल इज 5,000. तो हियर व्हाट हैपेंस, ताकि यहाँ पे कोई भी तरीके का चीटिंग ना हो, कोई भी फ्रॉडुलेंट एक्टिविटी ना हो, जो ऑर्गेनाइजर है उसको 5,000 रुपीज ऐसे सिक्योरिटी डिपॉजिट अपफ्रंट सबमिट करना पड़ेगा. 5,000 रुपीज, ठीक है. अभी वो 5,000 रुपीज लाइक ट्रीट होगा ऐसा प्राइस पुल अमाउंट. यहाँ पे हम लोग उस चीज को प्रिवेंट करना चाह रहे हैं. वेजिंग एक करके कॉन्सेप्ट आता है, उसमें क्या होता है, डिफरेंट गैम्बलिंग एप्लीकेशंस, बेटिंग एप्लीकेशंस क्या करते हैं, प्राइस पुल लाइक एंट्री फीस के ऊपर डिपेंड करके प्राइस पुल सेट कर देते हैं. उससे क्या होता है, प्राइस पुल बढ़ जाता, कभी कभी बढ़ भी जाता है, कम भी हो जाता है. इससे क्या होता है, इट फॉल्स अंडर द लाइक गैम्बलिंग.
It's basically like if 10 participants are putting, I mean, if 100 teams are actually putting, 100, each one is paying 100 rupees, so your total pool becomes 10,000, and you distribute 8,000 as a prizes, and the organization keeps 2,000 as a revenue out of it.
Yes, जितना भी लेफ्ट सपोज यहाँ पे 5,000 है, हम लोग 5,500 रेज कर रहे हैं फ्रॉम द ज्वाइनिंग फी, ठीक है. वी आर नॉट कलेक्टिंग दैट अमाउंट एज लाइक एंट्री फीस और समथिंग, वी आर कलेक्टिंग इट एज लाइक ज्वाइनिंग फी करके हम लोग कर रहे हैं. वो जो ज्वाइनिंग फीस है, लेट्स सपोज दैट कम्स अप टू 5,500. वो 5,500 इज नॉट गोइंग टू बी ट्रीटेड एज अ प्राइस पूल, बिकॉज प्राइस पूल ऑलरेडी इनिशियल डिपॉजिट के थ्रू ऑर्गेनाइजर के हम लोग ट्रीट कर रहे हैं. ये जो 5,500 है, उसका एक पार्ट जाएगा ऑपरेशनल कॉस्ट. कारण मैं अगर बताऊं, ऑर्गेनाइजर का जस्ट प्राइस पूल देकर काम खत्म नहीं है. यहाँ पे ऑर्गेनाइजर को एक मैनेजर रखना पड़ता है जो कि पूरा इवेंट स्पेक्टेट करता हो, फिर लाइक जो भी रिजल्ट वगैरह आता है वो डिक्लेयर कराना हो, तो वो सारे एक्स्ट्रा और भी ऑपरेशनल पार्ट आ जाता है. तो यहाँ पे एक ऑर्गेनाइजर को हम लोग एक्स्ट्रा भी पे कर रहे हैं, like as an operation fee, and जो rest of the 10 to 20% of the amount है, वो हम लोग जैसे प्लेटफॉर्म कमीशन हमारे पास रखते हैं.
So
And other
every
than
time a
that-
tournament, every time an organization, he initiates a tournament, so they need to
Yes.
deposit an amount. That amount becomes the prize pool, and at the same time, that is exactly where you're getting the commission margin from.
Yes, because यहाँ पे अगर हम लोग इनिशियल
Where
डिपॉजिट
does
नहीं लेते,
where does the money paid by the players are actually going to?
ओके, तो यहाँ पे हम लोग एस्क्रो अकाउंट बना रहे हैं, जहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, ये जो इनिशियल डिपॉजिट अमाउंट है वो एस्क्रो में सेव हो रहा है, ठीक है. दैट अमाउंट इज गोइंग डायरेक्टली टू द एस्क्रो अकाउंट, सो दैट यहाँ पे कोई भी तरीके का लाइक वो किसी को ना फेस करना पड़े कि लाइक पैसा सेफ है कि नहीं. वी नो एस्क्रो अकाउंट बनाई है इस कारण
So
कि
escrow
like
account is
it's
basically corp. I mean, it will be handled by your business team members, right?
yes, and हम लोग सर्विस ले रहे हैं रेजर पे के साथ.
Razor Pay. Okay.
Yes.
And how do you onboard the organizers? Is it like anyone can just register as an organizer and they just start initiating tournaments? Is it like you are
They
onboarding?
या इट्स जस्ट लाइक हमें कुछ गवर्नमेंट डॉक्यूमेंटेशन केवाईसी वगैरह कराएंगे, उसके बाद ही लाइक हम उसको लाइक टूर्नामेंट ऑर्गेनाइजर का परमिशन देने वाले हैं.
And what
इट्स नॉट
kind
लाइक कि
what kind
हाँ,
of
हम लोग
document?
यहाँ पे डॉक्यूमेंट जैसे कि लाइक अगर इंस्टीट्यूशनल हो, ठीक है, तो इंस्टीट्यूशन का कोई डॉक्यूमेंट जैसे कि कॉलेज का कोई लेटर, अगर हम लोग इंस्टीट्यूशन का हटा दे, बिकॉज इंस्टीट्यूशन का वो हमारा फेज 2 में आने वाला है टू प्रोवाइड दिस सर्विस टू इंस्टीट्यूशन, तो उसमें और थोड़ा हमारा सोचना बाकी है, प्लानिंग एंड ऑल. फॉर द रेगुलर ऑर्गेनाइजर्स हम लोग यहाँ पे लाइक पैन एंड आधार वेरिफिकेशन करा रहे हैं, एंड एस्क्रो अकाउंट में जो पैसा सेव होने वाला है या फिर जाने वाला है उसके लिए हम लोग बैंक वेरिफिकेशन करा रहे हैं. तो यहाँ पे ऐसे होल अगर मैं बताऊँ, पैन एंड आधार के लिए वी आर यूजिंग डिजीलॉकर का एपीआई, एंड बैंक के लिए वी आर यूजिंग सम अदर सर्विसेज जो कि पूरा वेरिफिकेशन करा रहा है ई-केवाईसी का.
Okay, got it. And how do you ensure that your platform is totally, I mean, it supports the AML, that is anti-money laundering mechanism?
Yes, exactly. So that's the most important, interesting part, because आज ही मेरा meet हुआ है, like with my legal team. तो उन्होंने आज मुझे इंश्योर किया है कि एप्लीकेशन में, एंड आई कैन प्रोवाइड दैट डॉक्यूमेंट विद इन 2 to 3 days, एक लीगल ओपिनियन होता है जो कि लाइक एक लॉ फर्म को प्रोवाइड करना पड़ता है, सो दैट पेमेंट एग्रीगेटर हमें लाइसेंस दे टू रन सच काइंड ऑफ लाइक इन ऐप पेमेंट्स एंड ऑल. हम लोग पेमेंट गेटवे लगाने का परमिशन हमें तभी मिलेगा जब एक लीगल ओपिनियन हमारे पास, उनके पास हम लोग सबमिट करें कि एप्लीकेशन में कोई भी तरीके का लाइक इलीगल एक्टिविटी वगैरह नहीं है. तो ये सारी चीजें हम लोग
I got your point. That the payment gateway restricts you from collecting money because of you are a gaming platform, right?
Yes.
And in order to avoid that, you are using some legal form documents so that the payment gateway can be convinced that we can collect the money.
Yes.
But I'm talking about a scenario that what if the money laundering actually happens in your platform? So how are you actually planning to tackle that situation?
Okay, यहाँ पे ताकि मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग ना हो, मेनली कैसे टाइप के प्लेटफॉर्म में मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग कब होता है अगर मैं बताऊं, एज फार एज माय रिसर्च मैंने जितना किया उसके अकॉर्डिंग मुझे जो समझ आया, आई विल कीप दैट एट द टेबल. मुझे जो देखने को मिला, क्या होता है यहाँ पे बैंक वेरिफिकेशन वगैरह नहीं होता है, एंड डायरेक्टली वो ट्रांसफर कर देते कोई भी किसी भी पर्सन को अगर मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग करना हो ऐसे टाइप के एप्लीकेशन में, जो कि ऐसे टाइप के एप्लीकेशन आपको लेकिन प्ले स्टोर एंड ऐप स्टोर में नहीं मिलने वाले, ये आपको एपीके फॉर्मेट में ही मिलने वाले हैं, बिकॉज ये सारे एप्लीकेशन प्ले स्टोर ऐप स्टोर में वो परमिशन नहीं देते. तो ऐसे टाइप के प्लेटफॉर्म में क्या होता है, कोई भी बैंक वेरिफिकेशन, आधार वेरिफिकेशन नहीं होता. तो इससे क्या होता है, एक पर्सन, लेट्स सपोज मी एज एन ऑर्गेनाइजर, आई वांट टू डू मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग इन दिस एप्लीकेशन, मैं क्या करूंगा, मैं 10,000 रुपए का लाइक प्राइस पूल रख दूंगा या फिर 1 लाख का प्राइस पूल रख दूंगा, एंड मेरे ही जान पहचान के लाइक प्लेयर्स को मैं इसी टूर्नामेंट में घुसाऊंगा, एंड उससे क्या होगा, लाइक इस टूर्नामेंट से जितने भी पैसा आएगा प्राइस पूल तो मेरे ही लाइक लोगों के पास चला जाएगा, एंड तो 10,000 उसके ऊपर मैं अपफ्रंट एक कमीशन भी अर्न कर रहा हूँ. ये चीज रोकने के लिए हम लोग यहाँ पे कंस्ट्रेंट्स यूज कर रहे हैं. कंस्ट्रेंट्स इन द फॉर्म, यहाँ पे कोई भी पर्सन अगर उसके मन में आ रहा है कि 5,599 रुपए का मुझे टूर्नामेंट कराना है या फिर 10,233, ऐसा नहीं हो सकता. हमारे यहाँ पे कंप्लीट प्रीसेट्स बने हुए हैं. एट मैक्स आप लोग 10,000 का कर सकते हो अगर आप ऐसे नॉर्मल ऑर्गेनाइजर हो. आप अगर ऐसा, अगर मैं बताऊं लाइक ऑफिशियल वेरीफाइड ऑर्गेनाइजर हो, देन आपको हम लोग एक थोड़ा फ्रंट कस्टम प्रीसेट बना के दे सकते हैं. बट ऐसा लाइक बीइंग अ लाइक रेगुलर ऑर्गेनाइजर, आपके पास लिमिट रहेगा. आप 9,000 से ऊपर वाले प्राइस पूल या फिर 10,000 से ऊपर वाले प्राइस पूल आप स्टार्टिंग में ही नहीं कर सकते. एंड यहाँ पे हर एक बैंक अकाउंट का हम लोग बैंक वेरिफिकेशन करा रहे हैं एंड ट्रैक रख रहे हैं विद द हेल्प ऑफ रेजर पे कि किस बैंक अकाउंट में किस रेट में कितना पैसा जा रहा है एंड आ रहा है। इस तरीके से हम लोग कुछ कुछ चीजें प्रिवेंट कर सकते हैं एज पर लाइक सम एंटी मनी गैम्बलिंग, लाइक एंटी मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग एक्टिविटीज, कंप्लायंस एंड ऑल, हम लोग पूरा केवाईसी वेरीफाइड बैंक अकाउंट्स वगैरह ये सारे यूज करते हैं।
Let me give you a scenario because bank account details are something it can be created and it can be verified by anyone. Why reason? कि यहाँ पे जैसे जो fraud agencies होती हैं, तो they have a lots of banks account, lots and lots of bank accounts. Paytm पे, phone पे and I mean there are certain platforms जो बहुत easy verification के साथ वो bank account detail. When I say bank account, I'm not talking about UPI. I'm talking about bank account as a proper and with proper NEFT methods and wire transfer methods. जहाँ पे account number IFSC code exist करता है, right? Because most of the fraud operations में there are organizations, मतलब not organization but there are group of fraud people जो fake entity बना के proper एक ये बैंक अकाउंट डिटेल बनवा लेते हैं, रजिस्टर करवा लेते हैं. Now coming to other part where the players are also putting up their money, right? And
यहाँ पे एक चीज मैं आपको थोड़ा समझाना चाहूंगा. इस प्लेटफॉर्म में 3 टाइप के एंट्रीज है, ठीक है. एक है कि प्राइस पूल भी रहेगा, एंट्री फीस भी रहेगा. केस 1, केस 2 प्राइस पूल रहेगा बट देयर वोंट बी एनी एंट्री फीस, जो कि मेजॉरिटी टाइम कंपनी स्पॉन्सर्ड टूर्नामेंट्स या फिर एप्लीकेशन स्पॉन्सर्ड टूर्नामेंट्स होने वाले. एंड थर्ड केस इज देयर वोंट बी एनी प्राइस पूल and there won't be any entry fees. तो it doesn't like connect आप जो बोल रहे हो इसके साथ. फिर भी I thought कि थोड़ा explain कर दो ये वाला part ताकि बाद में कोई confusion ना हो.
Okay, so आप बोल लो कि if a organizing team is organizing a tournament, so they cannot collect money from the players.
ना वो डायरेक्टली प्लेयर्स से मनी लाइक कलेक्ट नहीं कर सकते. कोई भी ऑर्गेनाइजर,
there will be escrow, right? So you will collect the money and he will be transferring the money to them later on.
Yes.
And
अगर
how fast is
क्राइटेरिया
this
मैच हुआ,
process?
या क्राइटेरिया मैच होने के बाद 24 आवर्स वी आर ट्राइंग कि इससे ज्यादा जल्दी करें, बट अभी के हमारा जो मैन पावर है एंड हमारा जो लाइक कैपेबिलिटी है उसके हिसाब से एट लाइक द फास्टेस्ट वी कैन डू 24 आवर्स.
क्योंकि हमें जल्दी इस कन्वर्सेशन को रैप करना है, तो मैं क्विकली अपना कंसर्न पुट कर लेता हूँ. मैं एक सिचुएशन आपको बता देता हूँ कि मान के चलो मैं एक ऑर्गेनाइजिंग टीम हूँ, मैं आज एक टूर्नामेंट ऑर्गेनाइज करवाता हूँ, ठीक है. एंड मान लीजिए मैं एक्चुअली एक फ्रॉड हुई इन जनरल एंड मैंने बैंक अकाउंट डिटेल्स वेरीफाई कर ली, बिकॉज बैंक अकाउंट डिटेल्स कहीं से भी मैं जनरेट करके वो कर सकता हूँ, है ना, किसी भी प्लेटफॉर्म के थ्रू. नेक्स्ट स्टेप में मान लीजिए जैसे आई हायर्ड लाइक 10 डिफरेंट ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल, ठीक है. उनके पास सारा पैसा उनके अलग अलग बैंक अकाउंट में डला हुआ था जो प्योर ब्लैक मनी था. गॉट इट. तो वो प्योर ब्लैक मनी को, क्योंकि वो डिफरेंट डिफरेंट अकाउंट्स में मोस्टली दे fraud people, they put the money in Paytm, है ना. और there are certain payment platforms UPI के जहाँ पे जो नए निकल रहे हैं उनके अंदर डालते हैं, because they have very lower regulatories on how to handle the payments actually, ठीक है. तो उस केस में वो मान लो आप जैसे 10,000 15,000 देर 10-15,000 आराम से मतलब वो यहाँ पे पुट कर रहे हैं अपने अकाउंट के अंदर. और ये फर्दर 10-15,000 में से मान लीजिए उन लोगों ने थोड़ा थोड़ा अमाउंट करके देखिए टूर्नामेंट प्ले करना स्टार्ट करा. द सिस्टम हियर वर्क्स इज एज पर द एक्सप्लेनेशन ऑफ योर्स अबाउट द कॉप्स कि वो पे 100 प्लेयर्स आर एक्चुअली पुटिंग 100 rupees each, let's say, and we are generating a revenue of 10,000 rupees here. एस्क्रो टीम के पास जो कि आपकी है, और एस्क्रो टीम इस 10,000 को फिर फर्दर ट्रांसफर करवा देती है ऑर्गेनाइजिंग टीम के पास. नाउ कंसिडर very frequently for months, है ना. and since it is happening for months, because यहाँ पे जो मनी है वो एक बार के आपके पास आया अलग अलग अकाउंट से. एस्क्रो का मतलब ये है कि आप मैनुअल वेरिफिकेशन कर रहे हो, है ना. इट्स नॉट अ ऑटोमेटेड वेरिफिकेशन, है ना. और मैनुअल वेरिफिकेशन का मतलब ये है कि इट्स ऑल अबाउट योर गट फीलिंग की whether this is a real transaction or a fake transaction. Or obviously all of them becomes a real transaction, and since you are collecting money from the players, you cannot even keep the organizer on hold for 24 hours, more than 24 hours. And even जो players हैं उनको भी प्राइस पूल लेना पड़ेगा, उसको भी होल्ड पे नहीं रख सकते. तो यहाँ पे both the players can money that collected with black money, that is we call that's why we call it black only, because collected through
Yes, yes, totally.
processes that doesn't actually come under the tax and
Mhm.
taxations are not getting applied here, because the
Yes.
money becomes black. Now, since both the organizing is actually transferring this legal amount, let's say 5,000 as a security deposit to your bank account,
Mhm.
आपके बैंक अकाउंट से, क्योंकि वहां पे आप escrow करा रहे हो, now that goes to the team members as well as a prize pool, है ना? तो दोनों
Yes.
पार्टीज आपस में मनी एक्सचेंज कर रही हैं via your company's bank account. And do you think that you can prevent the money laundering here?
Okay.
And
यहाँ
for
पे
how long?
मैं, ओके, यहाँ पे दो चीज आते हैं.